Hello and welcome to the third weekly upload update, or woo! Yeah, I've been looking forward to doing that one for a while. This one comes a little late because I had to do some things working around some recently discovered problems with the WWE 2K17 game as of the recent patch that deployed this week. I'll get to that in a second. But we've got some brand new cars to show you and some fairly big news that I have to share with you guys as far as future uploads concerned. But let's get right into it and start with one of the brand new guys that I've just completed this week. And these guys are actually up on community creations as we speak. That is the entirety now of the faction known as Villainy. You've seen two out of these three guys last week, being Tyson Blackheart and Rottweiler. And this guy here is Adam Warden. And I really like the way that he came out. As I did last year also, I based his design off of an independent wrestler, a cruiserweight from the UK by the name of Mike Mason, also known as Loco Mike Mason. And I will actually put up some pictures of him on the side there so you can see a side-by-side comparison. The face is obviously not the same, but the main thing is the hairstyle and the tattoo style, at least in terms of the layout. Again, it's not exactly the same kind of tattoos, but the layout of the tattoos and how it's looking like on his body was all based off of Mike Mason's look. And yeah, I am really impressed at how he came out and the way that he looks like in game. It's pretty badass. Let's take a look at his alternate attire now, which is the singlet, and obviously a design theme is the red skulls there. I pretty much take to one specific thing and use that as the basis to a lot of the designs that I use for cars, just to kind of have some uniformity or continuity there. But yeah, this is basically a variant of his second attire from 2K16. Just used some new graphics and added the text. And yeah, this is how he's looking like for this year, or at least as far as the first attires that I'm releasing. Because I might do new attires and upload another update at some point in the future. And next on the list is the reigning XWA National Champion, Union King, who of course is also a member of the faction known as World's Finest. This is a brand new look for him. I actually had to make some changes as far as his tights goes, because I had used William Regal's tights as the foundation last year, and Regal's not on this game, at least as a wrestler, so I had to improvise. So that little back design you see behind the Union King logo there is actually the Stardust logo from the WWE logos menu. Just color manipulated it, and it's got kind of like that starburst effect there, and that's what I went with. His design, as far as his ring gear, has always been pretty clean. He's, you know, kind of that throwback, old school style, technical heel character, much like William Regal was at some point in time. Well, he always was that kind of a heel character. And real quick, we'll take a look at his alternate attire, which again is a variation of the same attire that I had made for him in 2K16. That there is the coat of arms for the United Kingdom, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. One of you British chaps out there who might follow my channel, if you can confirm or deny this in the comment section, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I definitely like this look, particularly the white boots and the red and blue trim. Usually you would associate white or bright colors with a face or a good guy, but he's a bad guy and he's wearing white, so that's kind of different and unique, sort of. A little bit of an Easter egg for you, or some trivia for you, I should say, not so much an Easter egg. But you might have noticed, or not noticed, or maybe not even paid attention to this fact, that Union King is actually mixed race. Yeah, we're diversifying. He always has been a mixed race mulatto dude, you know, half black, half white. I kind of went with that a little more this year because he's got the afro going on there and the scruffy beard, looking a little more rugged than last year's look, but just decided to do that to accentuate the fact that, you know, he is in fact a mixed race wrestler. And yeah, you know, just a little something extra for you guys to know about this particular character. And yeah, I'm definitely looking to make more of a diverse character roster in future games, as well as this one as well. And this is the start, but not the finish. I've definitely got a couple of more plans down the road after I've gotten done all of the base characters on my roster. So next on the list, fully completed as of this video, is Katana in full, as in all 5 members. And we're going to start in alphabetical order with Big Duke Morrow, aka the enforcer of the group. And I use that term loosely on the fact that usually the enforcer is the big guy, as it is that they would describe him to be. And yeah, that's basically what Duke is. He's a big, burly, brawler, biker type guy. And obviously you can see from the design cues that influences for him range from the American badass persona of The Undertaker to Kevin Nash. And that's basically the entire inspiration behind the character. That was what it was that I was going for. And he's got the atypical big brawler type moveset. You know, he's got a power bomb and a choke slam as finishing moves. He's got a big boot as a signature move. It's pretty much as cliche a big man moveset as you can possibly get. But that was exactly the intention that I had when I decided I wanted to make the character and change him into this type of a look. You'll also notice that he has a little bit more ink. I decided I wanted to add a more arm sleeve type of deal to his tattoo layout, which is the same as far as the shoulders and biceps goes as it was last year. Just went with something over that. Actually a concoction of several other tattoos and designs that I've used on other cars that you wouldn't notice if I didn't tell you. So yeah, it's completely inconspicuous to the naked eye, but just a little FYI there for the those of you out there who like to hear about my design processes as far as what it is that I do with these guys. So that's his standard gear. And then there is the actual Katana logo official gear. And each one of the members of Katana has this same type of layout where their primary attire is going to be their regular looking gear, and then the secondary is going to be an alternate that uses the Katana logo or regalia, what you have you, just for the sake of them looking a little more unified in the fact that they are an army of really, really badass guys who just are out for themselves. And next up on the list we have the reigning GWGP Heavyweight Champion, also another member of Katana, by the name of Young Tsuzuki, or Jung Tsuzuki, however it is that you want to pronounce it. Basically, he started out as a character that was based loosely off of Kazuchika Okada, who is a multi-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I have since kind of evolved the look of his character and his attire specifically into something a little more original. And that's basically the premise to a lot of characters that I make in these games, where I will start out with an actual wrestler or person as the inspiration and then build on that over the course of the years. So now he's got his own specific look and very uniquely designed. A little bit of something of information about his face. I used a face texture template for a lot of cars last year that my brother Oz actually made, and decided instead I wanted to go with actual actual photo-realistic faces, and using the mapping technique that I showed you in my previous Core University tutorial. I'm doing that with actual faces of people. And the face that I used for Tsuzuki here is actually that of a man by the name of Jin Akanishi, and I will have some pictures of his face on the side there for your side-by-side comparison. He's an actor and a singer over in Japan, and some of you might recognize him from the film 47 Ronin, which released a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's the guy right there, opposite Keanu Reeves. I'll have that picture there too. And yeah, that's pretty much the facial basis for Tsuzuki going forward. And he looks pretty good. Actually, he looks quite sexy, in fact. And I say that no homo. But yeah, he's a pretty good-looking guy there. Take a look at his entrance attire, and I really do like the way that his entrance gear came out. He's got a overcoat on, and I decided I wanted to put those Ascension shoulder pads on him as well, and just give him a really gaudy looking entrance gear. Very, very New Japan-esque. Wanted to add a little bit more of a flash to him. Got the kanji on the shoulder pad there, and in game it looks really, really good, but then again it looks really good here as well. You just have to see for yourselves how the total package ends up looking like. And let's take a look at his alternate attire now. Again, this is the Team Katana variants. Changed a couple of graphics on the tights and threw the Katana logos on top, and that's basically his alternate gear, the Katana uniform, so to speak. You see the front and the back, and then we'll take a look at his entrance gear, which is kind of a variant or homage, if you will, to the entrance gear to the leader of Katana, ironically enough. I like this New Day vest because it's got that kind of scarf thing going on there. I just covered it with the red graphics to make it look like a red scarf. Threw the Katana logo on the back there with a nice angle. And the red scarf there is actually an homage to, like I said, the leader of Katana, Victory Musashi, who you will see in a couple of seconds, who is based off of the legendary Japanese wrestler Antonio Inoki. I'll give you more on that background story when I show him here, but yeah. Next up, the 2K17 version of Kevin Lassiter. You saw a little piece of him in the previous video that I had posted up that showed off the unfortunate glitch that has reared its ugly head in this last patch we've received for the game that makes you unable to adjust the opacity of custom logos or artwork. So yeah, I got a tip from my man Donnie, aka Don Keys 29. I'll have his channel linked in the description there for you. And the tip was basically to make the graphics transparent or less opaque in Photoshop before you even import them into the game. So that's what I did, and yeah, the results are pretty clean, and yeah, one less hassle for you to have to worry about here. So it wouldn't even be necessary for you to even adjust the opacity in-game if you're just doing it in Photoshop before you import it into Community Creations. So just so you guys know, the opacity that I set the graphics to was 70%. So anything I would say between 50 to 70% will be safe enough for it to have that actual transparent look. 50% being more of a lived-in, faded-out look of tattoos, whereas 70% looks more, a little more fresh on the skin, but still not painted on like it was when I first put the graphics on and realized that you couldn't make any adjustments in the game because of his freaking bump. But anyway, getting past that, there's some things that are different about him, obviously. Again, I used an actual face texture as opposed to the template that I had used for him last year, just to give him a bit more of a unique look facially. And the tights are actually in-game tights with no actual extra logos on them. These are Heath Slater's tights, and correction, there is an actual extra logo on there, which is the gas mask skull that I had used on his gear from last year. I basically used that to cover up the Slater name on the tights. I actually used these tights last year on Adam Warden, but since I kind of changed his look up, this had an opening, and I decided I just wanted to use it on Lassiter to change his look up as well. It's kind of variations of things from year to year, so that not everything is always going to be just a carbon copy of a creation. And for the alternate attire, once again, we have the Team Katana variant. We have the Katana skull logo covering up Slater, and then on the leg, I covered up the other graphics with the Katana text and the skull logo, so that it looks like he's got a Team Katana variant of this gear as well, same as everybody else in the group. Really like how it looks. And I definitely do like how the tattoos end up looking too. Actually had to do some flipping around of some of them to get the full sleeve effect on the right arm there. But you can see it looks really, really nice. That's definitely some detailed work right there. That had to set him back a couple thousand at least. Even though it only just set me back a couple of minutes to set up the layout. Now it's just a matter of remembering where that layout's going to be for next year. That's why you take pictures, folks. Take notes, take pictures and references of your work from the last version of the game, so that makes converting them to the current version of the game that much easier. It's a little mini tip for you there. And last but not least, the ringleader of Katana and subsequently World's Finest. This, of course, is Victory Musashi, who is, in my own specific universe, one of the more influential villains of the story. Once again, a very, very clean look to him. His design's never been very detailed. It's just a matter of the logos that I use. There you see the 5 rings on the front of his tights, which is the philosophy of the legendary swordsman, who also went by the name of Musashi. He goes by those same tenets as well. And there's a samurai logo on the back, one of many that I have used, and I will use to kind of change up his look. And facially, as has always been the case for Mr. Musashi, his basis is the legendary Antonio Inoki, aka the Chin. And yeah, for some strange reason, however, the more I look at his face, it kind of resembles John Cena's as well. Just that kind of squarish look with the big nose and the broad chin. There's some Cena-esque appearances as far as his facial features goes. I tried to change it up as much as possible by adding some of the wrinkle textures to the face to give him a little bit more age, but yeah, it's just one of those things that is, and I really can't do anything about it, but I do like how it ends up looking in the end anyway. So, circling back to what it is that I had said about young Tsuzuki's entrance attire for his Katana gear, it is in fact an homage to Victory's gear, which is an homage actually to Antonio Inoki's gear, specifically the red scarf. Inoki always came down to the ring with a red scarf on with his gear, whether it was a shirt or robes, more specifically robes. He always had a red scarf, and I decided I wanted to add that as a nuance to Victory Musashi's entrance gear to be even more of an homage to Inoki through Viscor, and then the fact that Tsuzuki has a red scarf in his gear is an homage to Victory being his mentor, or so on and so forth. And a little bit of a Easter egg for you as far as his name goes, for those of you who are not aware. When the localized version of Fire Pro Wrestling Returns released years ago on the PlayStation 2, they had to rename a lot of the wrestlers in the game to avoid copyrights, or yeah, basically to avoid copyrights. And the name that they had used for the character wrestler that represented Antonio Inoki was Victory Musashi. So I took that name and basically made that into the name of my homage call to Inoki. So it kind of has a sort of uniformity or continuity there. And that also extends out to the View Japan Pro Wrestling promotion that I have as the Japanese counterpart to the Extraordinary Wrestling Association. View Japan Pro Wrestling is also a variant of New Japan Pro Wrestling that was used in Fire Pro Returns. And I've kind of absorbed that into my universe, and yeah, a little background story there, not just on Musashi, but an entire promotion that Musashi also just so happens to compete in. Little FYI for you. But yeah, there you see basically the Katana variant of Mr. Musashi's gear. Decided not to use the actual text for Katana because he doesn't really need it. Just the skull, really subtle, but still uniform to the rest of his crew. And so now we get to the big news, or at least big in my case, the fact that as of this video, I have actually reached silver rank as far as uploads are concerned on community creations. And what that means now is that I can now upload 10 CAWs as opposed to just 5 from previous weeks. So already available right now are the 3 other remaining members of Villainy: Adam Warden, Rottweiler, and Tyson Blackheart. Blackheart and Rottweiler I showed you last week. Also, I showed you Angelus Aurelius. He is available for download as well. And Union King is available for download. I also took this opportunity to re-upload a couple of CAWs that some people have missed. Cyrus the Entertainer, Miyoko Shinsuke, and Veretta Vendetta. Those will be available until at least Saturday, I would say. Well, actually, today's Friday, so that would be tomorrow. Yeah. So, very limited edition there. Grab them while you can. And after that, I will be uploading all 5 members of Katana to community creations. That being Tane Tua, Duke Morrow, Kevin Lassiter, Jung Tsuzuki, and Victory Musashi. So those will be the 10 CAWs. That will be available until next Friday, because I want to give at least a full week of availability for all of the new work that I have completed so far this week. So these 3 are here till Saturday, and then Katana will be up until the following Friday. Search tags, of course, are going to be 3X CAW, that is the number 3, and the letters XCAW, and XWA, to find all of my creations as far as wrestlers, logos, arenas. The Takedown Arena is actually available right now for download, as well as Girl Fight. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this week's Woo! Thanks for watching once again. Please leave comments down below, like this video, and subscribe to 3X Gaming for more weekly upload content from WWE games and other games as well, and the XWA shows themselves, which will be coming very, very soon. As soon as I make enough to be able to run a show, the season premieres to both shows will be down the pipeline in the very, very near future. So that'll do it. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, this is 3X signing off. See ya!